Great. Okay. So thanks for being here this morning. My name is Vincent Meza, and this is Listings to Leads. And this is kind of the intro rollout call to our real estate marketing platform. So there's a couple things that I want you to sort of know. We have tools for you if you have listings, and we have tools for you if you don't have listings. These tools are to get both buyers and sellers. If you have your own listings, then we have tools to help you get referrals as well. But let's kind of jump into it. Let me turn off this little email trigger here. So first of all, before we go into it, you do have the ID, and login, so you can log in at the top right there. You can scroll down and see a lot of what we're doing here. A lot of our tools, automated tools for listings and stuff like that. I'm going to show you inside where it is, but I want to actually take you to the bottom, because the one thing about listings to leads is we do a whole lot, right? We have a lot of tools, and it's a common criticism that it's overwhelming, right? And I understand that, and that's the point of this call. But I do want to kind of let you know that while it is overwhelming, it's also very, how do you say, rewarding. It helps your business grow, essentially. There are a lot of tools I'm going to show you. They're very colorful, they're mobile optimized, they're kind of cool in this way or that. But the reality is, if you use them, you're going to end up getting more business. And so we need to kind of, make sure that you understand that right away. And I'm sorry I don't have a few things open, but the roosters haven't even, made any noise yet. So let me have a sip of coffee here. I want to show you something. And what I do for the company is I set up offices like yours all over the country. And so I don't talk to every agent. We have a great support team in the account. They'll always be there to help you. We've got really good tutorials, and then I do live training twice a week, which I definitely recommend that you get on. But this call that we did last year was from a guy named Dustin Fox, and you're going to hear me mention him a couple times today. This guy was a rookie in an office like yours. He had only been an agent for 2 years. Then I rolled this thing out, and in the next 2 years, he went from 5 million in production to 20 million in production. He also said 80% of his business comes from our tools, and that he only puts in 2 hours a week to get those results. Okay. And that's some really incredible numbers to go from 5 to 20, 80% of the business coming from us. And he did it in 2 hours a week. And what he was doing is he'd take his daughter to her ballet, and then he'd go next door at Starbucks, and he'd just work for 2 hours while she danced. And that was the work that he did with listings to lead. So I'm going to show you those tools that he used, but I'm also going to take you right here to this blog. And that whole long-winded story is partly because I'm still waking up, but also it's to let you know that if you invest some time in this, it will help your business grow. So on this blog at the bottom of our system here are kind of two big themes you're going to see, and I'm going to show you where these exist in the system. One is you can get leads with phone numbers from Facebook in about 20 seconds. You can run an ad in about 20 seconds. We launched this last fall. I'm going to show you all the kinds of ads that you can create. It does go from your own business page, and we'll get into the details there. So you can get buyer leads or seller leads. And so that's kind of a big thing. This is actually pretty good right here, lead conversion. You guys, Crystal, you guys were an office client before, right? Is that correct?
I had an individual account before,
Oh,
but
really?
I've used your company off and on for several years. But this is the first time we've done this. I had a real estate team before I opened my company, and my team had it before. So this is the first office, technically. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks. And the reason why I was asking that is that, if you start using the system and you start collecting leads, I just had a conversation with the office yesterday, and they said, well, called those leads that day, and they were all kind of, nobody wanted to talk to us. And that's understandable. When you're gathering contact information from the internet, nobody wants to talk to you right away. And I know that there's a conversation or there's coaching or a thought process of something that's called speed to lead, right? If you get that lead and you don't respond in, 5 seconds, it's gone because somebody else is on it. And that is certainly a philosophy. I don't really subscribe to it because, how often do we fill things out on the internet, and we definitely don't want our phone blowing up and all that. This call here, lead conversion, this guy is actually a really smart agent, and he talks about ways of using our system to convert leads. So that Kelly Wheeler call is actually something that I highly recommend. And if you keep going down, you're going to see this story too. How this lady got 3 listings in just a couple months from one of our tools. It's the neighborhood newsletter, or the nearby homeowner letter, sorry. Now I'm going to show you where that is. It is the #1 tool for getting listings. Here's a guy, Calvin. Calvin generated 490 leads in October. In the first 26 days of October, they were buyer leads. They cost him about $1 each. And that, obviously, that's the first time, every time I hear a big number like that, I get kind of like, whoa, that's a kind of a milestone. That was the first time that somebody said, yeah, 490 leads in 26 days. And he ran multiple ads with the ad generator that I'm mentioning too. And that was a big number, but that can be achieved by just about anybody. It's pretty much buyer leads tend to cost about $1 a lead. But this story here, how did Chris get 5 listings in 3 months in his own neighborhood with our tools? It's the nearby homeowner letter. We're going to go look at that in a minute. And then over on page 5, I'm going to send this to you right now. So if you watch this on the call, this might be on page 6. It's realtors stuck inside with time on your hands. Everything you need to know is kind of on this page. Everything you need to know about listings to leads is on this page. Let me see if I can send this to you. Paste. So right now, this should be sort of blinking on your go-to meeting deal. And I would open it up and I would save it on your browser. And here's what you got here. Now, I am going to dive into these things right now, but how do you market a listing with listings to leads? Whether it's your listing or borrowed. So you can borrow listings from other agents and get a lot of the same tools, and you can use them as well. How do you create Facebook ads in 3 steps? So we're going to go into that, but I might start going fast as the coffee kicks in, and you'll want something a little slower and in more detail that will help you. This is the top 7 seller lead gen tools. These are the top. We have many tools in the system. These cover the ones that get you more listings. And then what if you don't have any listings? What if you don't have any? What if you don't have any listings? What can you do? My guess is that's a little bit out of date. I'm going to show you some things that you can do that are probably not on that page. And then I really like this. If you got a tight budget, even if you don't have a tight budget, there are some free and cheap ways of generating leads that are just smart. I mean, more leads, more business. I recommend it. And if you're investing in video or Matterport, watch this video so you can see all the places that you can put it. So that's on our blog, currently page 5 of our blog, and that's a great resource for you to start. That particular one, if you watch the top 3 links, I think you're going to really get your arms around this thing quickly. The other big resource, sorry, it's my truck I built one day. Sorry. Let's see here. There we go. So the other big resource is called our mastermind group. Okay, now this is a private group. So if you go looking for it right now and you're not in it, it's on Facebook, you're not going to see it. Okay, so you have 2 ways to get in the group. When you log in your account, let me log in over here real quick. When you log into your account, there's a support page, right? And you can tell them, hey, can you get me in the mastermind group? I do recommend that you get in there. So down here, when you log into your account, it says support, right? But in here, once you're in here, you can use this magnifying glass. There's a magnifying glass up here on the right. And you can search things. Recorded webinar is a good thing to search because guess what? All my recorded webinars are there. And then also a couple of names like, how do you say it? Chris Winston. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. So here, you'll see clients say, hey, I just got 16 leads and it cost me $356 a lead. So you're kind of seeing what's going on in the market across the country. And people ask questions. It's really a great place to learn. And that's kind of it. That's the point. I really want to make, hey, hold on a second. Oh yeah. We're translating some of our tools to Spanish and people are just asking. So you just see a lot here. Like I said, whenever you see the word recorded webinar, and we also announce our classes, I recommend that you get on a few because as soon as you understand this, what I'm gonna show you now is how you use the system. And it's not difficult. While there are a lot of tools in here, and if you're the kind of person that just has to click on every little thing you see, this is gonna be a big rabbit hole. If you're the kind of person that can follow a few instructions and just focus on those and do those things, this is going to change the shape of your business. So let's talk about what's going on. This is when you log in, this is the wizard. I recommend that you go through this. You won't need to import your listings. You could use My Farm Dominator. Crystal, let me ask you this question. Does your My Farm Dominator reaches into the MLS? And even if you don't have listings, you can borrow listings. You can kind of type in the name of a town and you can type in. Can you do that sort of thing there?
I believe so. I've never borrowed anyone's listings yet.
Okay.
So
it does put the agent's name on it so that you can,
yeah, as long as we give credit, we can use other people's listings.
So that's a good tool to use, My Farm Dominator. We create a listing ad. So in this first step, and it kind of goes in order, we import your listings. I think we've already got yours imported. If you have some, you can use My Farm Dominator if you don't. And then the very next thing is we say, okay, well, now that you have listings, let's create an ad in 60 seconds. Then we create a home value ad. Then we set up auto posting. We generate a home valuation landing page, and we push that to your social media. So that's what you do with just a setup wizard. And I do recommend that you do that because it connects your social media. The other thing that I would recommend is that you understand that we have a listings page, we have a landing page section right here, and we have an ad section. Now we have other sections, right? And basically I'm in a lobby to get them buried so that you don't see it, because I would say not even 1% of our clients use bots, right? They're cool, they sound cool, but boy, what a rabbit hole those things go down. If you use the listings page, the landing page section, and the ad section, you're gonna move the needle. You're gonna help grow your business pretty quickly. So let's go on to listings and let's concentrate on what you need to focus on. All of your listings will be here. And if you notice, this one here has a green little icon on it. That means it's an open house. This one has a blue map kind of thing. That means it's a My Farm Dominator. So it's a borrowed listing, okay? So let's go into my open house and look at all the tools that we have. And you'll see the tools over here on the right. I'm gonna go to the task button. And when you click there, you'll see that I have 4 things checked. You'll also see that there are many things you can do, right? So again, I want you to focus on the 4 that I am focused on, because these get the greatest results. It is tools for your social media, for the seller's social media, the e-flyer for your database, and underprint marketing as a nearby homeowner letter, okay? So this is an open house, so let's look at it. And the first tool is called a listing landing page. Now, this is mobile optimized. It has just a snippet of information, right? There's an open house in Berkeley, and there's a time there, right? because it's time sensitive. Now, if the home was just listed, or if it was pending, or if it was sold, it would look like this, but it wouldn't say open house and there wouldn't be that ticking time bomb thing, right? So it's designed to capture leads. And to get more information on this home, all you got to do is click continue with Facebook. So I'm going to click that now. And that grabs my name and email. The page now says thank you from me to the consumer. And then we drop them on the single property website that we created for you automatically. Now, in this case, I pasted in a video just to show somebody that if you have video, you can paste it in there, right? But the default home valuation landing, or the default single property website has these components. It's got the photos, it's got the details, you'd expect that. But here's something you might not expect. It's going to ask, what is your home worth? Halfway down the page, a third of the way down the page. And you keep going, and there's photos, and there's the maps, and here's some pics and the schools, I think, and your reviews, if you got reviews on Zillow, and then the other listings in your account. You can even put a video down here. It says work with Lynn. I don't know if this is going to pop up because who knows why, but it used to have a video right here. And that might be a video about you, right? And then there's this big footer here that says, what is your home worth? Now, why in the world would we keep asking what your home is worth? Notice I got a link over here that says, what is your home is worth? I got all these lead gen links here. What is this one about? This is pointing to my core home valuation landing page. And the reason for all this is that we know, and actually I'm pretty sure you know too, that often people are looking at homes for sale, own a home, because they're researching what's going on in the market. So they're going to be looking at homes for weeks or possibly months. And if you're using our tools, you're going to have the chance to ferret that out. Notice it says follow this home. This pops up automatically. And it says right here, it requires your name and phone number. It also says, do you own a home? And if I click yes, then it asks another question. Do you need to sell it before buying one? And a lot of our leads come in with these two yeses clicked, right? And that's really a great component if you want more listings, is to market your listings with this. And I'm going to go back to the mastermind group because that kind of reminds me of something. And that is, a lot of people come to us for more listings. They actually hear like we've got great listing tools. And what they often think is that if you get a home valuation landing page like this, and it says, what is your Lafayette home worth, what is your St. Louis home worth, or what is your Miami home worth, whatever, and you lob that out on Facebook, that's going to be the best way to get leads, listing leads. That has been said by many coaches, many internet gurus. Even I was training that for years. Because you know why? Because that was true. Get a landing page and put it on Facebook and you're going to get great home value leads. But what happened was Facebook changed dramatically. They got sued by the government for illegal ads that were restrictive. And then they had, what do you call it, election tampering. So Facebook is not as powerful as it once was years ago. So I want to just be really straight with you. Putting a home valuation ad on Facebook is the last thing I would suggest to you if you want listing leads that turn into listing contracts. You will get some addresses, but if you need, listing contracts and commissions, this is the last way to get those things, is to take this page and go put it on Facebook and run an ad. It's just not effective, and I'll show you why in a little bit. So, but I want to take you back to the mastermind group, to this story of where this one lady just came in and said, hey, who here lists 2 listings or more per month strictly from listings to leads, and what's the tool that you use? And everybody jumps in, a bunch of people jump in and say, yeah, I got listings this way or that way, 60 comments on that. You're welcome to look at that. But remember I mentioned that guy, Dustin Fox? He says, we average 2 listings from each marketed listing, all from listings to leads, Facebook ads, mailers, and open houses. trying to get that number to above 3. So every time he markets a listing, he expects to get 3 more listings, which is kind of counterintuitive, because you would think that when you're marketing a home, you're going to get buyers. And that is true. You're going to get a lot of buyers, but buyers are easy to get. But listings, by using our system, are going to help you get more listings. And as I've shown you, just on one tool, there are multiple hooks in there to get listings. So that's the number one tool, right? The listing landing page. We email it to you automatically. You can open it and you can send it. You can click it right here. There's some share buttons. They'll either be on the left or on the top. And then you can say, yeah, I want to share that. And I can choose to put it on my business page or whatever. And then you write it, right? Now, I think something that I recommend more is turn on social media auto posting, which was part of the wizard process, and just let us do it for you automatically, right? So let me click on LinkedIn there. And what we're going to see is a post that Listings to Leads does for you automatically. You'll notice that there are emojis in it, and you'll notice that there are hashtags in it. And you know what? Every time you put something on social media, you should have emojis. More people will slow down and look at your post. If you're on LinkedIn or Twitter, you should always have hashtags because they index them. And many people, thousands of people, are following real estate, house hunting, things like that. So that's why you put them in automatically, okay? Now, do you want to do that all by hand? Put those emojis and put those hashtags and write all that great stuff? Or do you just want us to do it for you automatically? That you can set up on the Get Started wizard, and I definitely recommend that you take advantage of it. And I want to point out that while it looks cool, you know, it's got the nice banner and all that, if you click on that, it's going to take you to a page that's going to capture you as a lead. And that's really what we're on about, right? We know that agents do all kinds of stuff, and we know that they could be capturing leads in that same thing. I can tell you, I see so many agents paste really cool looking, colorful things on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I see them paste in links driving people to Zillow, you know. And that's awesome, I guess, but it's not capturing leads for agents. And that's what our business is all about, is capturing leads for agents. And so social media auto posting does things automatically for you, and it captures leads and it sends it to you. Now, the next tool is the seller social media. And I'm going to jump out of this. Let me jump out of this real quick and let's see. Crystal. I'm going to see if I can log into your account and show you a couple of these things. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, I think this is your account. Does that seem right? So in your account, you have your own listings, or you can borrow listings. And I'm going to log in here, and I see that Crystal has one listing.
Yes.
So, yes. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, I was just saying, yes, I have the one.
Okay. So, Crystal, I'm going to check these things right now. These are the things that I want you to do. Have you used any of the tools in here?
I have before. I just didn't do it yet for this new round.
So, you know, obviously the social media auto posting, this is your listing landing page. You can share it yourself, right? There's some share buttons over here, or you can share it, you know, with auto posting. Is that the front of the house, Crystal?
It's a condo, so yeah.
Okay, just check.
I'll probably rearrange the pictures before I post it. Like an interior picture.
Yeah, you can do that up here. Click on edit, click on photos, and you know, you can kind of do that thing there.
Something else.
So, you know, get that out. But I wanted to point this out to you. And it's the seller social media. And this is one of our top tools for getting more listings. Okay. So let's look at it real quickly and see what I am yammering on about. I'm going to go to Facebook. It's called the seller social media tool, and we email it to you. What did I do here? Wrong. Sorry. It's still early here, guys. Forgive me. It is for, so as I showed you, we have a tool that's already for your social media, right? And we can do it for you automatically or not. But this is for the homeowners. So you're meant to take this email that we've sent you and forward it on to your client, and then call them and say, hey, whatever client's saying, hey, I just sent you something. I know you get like 100 emails every day. Would you just copy what I sent you and put it on your Facebook wall? We want to make sure as many people see this as possible and get more offers and get the best price for this. And we'll give it a second to sort of bake there. And you can imagine that if you click on that picture, it's going to pop up a tool that captures a lead, right? But what's more important is your clients communicate on Facebook with their friends, their family, with their colleagues, with their past colleagues. And this post here just stays there forever, and it's telling everyone, hey, Crystal at Crystal Clear Realty is their realtor. And as you go through, let's see if I have anything here. Yeah, as you go through, like here's one that's pending, right? Hey, now our home is pending, and Crystal is still marketing with dedicated marketing until the home is sold, right? So Crystal, a lot of places go for sale very quickly. You might want to, when this thing goes pending, or if you have an open house, that you toggle this and say, it's pending or it's under contract or whatever. And then when it's sold, you change it to sold. Because when it's sold.
And can I import my pending ones into the database too? Just grab the listings?
And I mean, normally I would tell you right here is a button that says grab listing.
Yeah.
We can't see pending listings. So
okay.
You'll have to manually add it. And I would highly recommend that you do that right away.
Okay.
Because I'm going to show you why. It's actually maybe not for the pending marketing, but you could, because there's a pending tool right here. And I would totally tell you like to use it. But this is the sold one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to say when our home just sold, and we want to recommend Crystal at Crystal Clear Realty for doing an excellent job. And here's her phone number and email in front of all my friends and family on Facebook to see, right? And another thing about sold and pending properties is when you click on that, we're not looking for buyers anymore, right? Because not many buyers are looking at sold properties because they're gone. So when the call to action pops up, we're offering a free home value. We're looking for listing leads with pending later stage listings, pending under contract, active contingent, and sold. So this post sits out there, not like an ad. This sits out there until the day that that person decides to delete it. Many people don't even decide to delete it. And our clients get listing leads that are pretty high quality because they're coming from somebody's, your sphere of influence of your clients, months later. So I definitely recommend that you take advantage of that. You don't get.
And I will say.
Yeah.
Good. I was going to say, I will say that when I've used this system in the past, I always sent the emails that you guys automate to the sellers, and they really do share it. I mean, it's a seller's market right now, so it goes under contract usually in 2 days. But, that just sold would be a great tool to use, like Sarah, for your newest ones you just sold, to put that out there. Because I know when my sellers put it out there, people believe it a lot better than if I put it out there.
Totally. And
because they're validating your work.
And also, you get these tools at every stage. So now I know you sold some properties and you've got them pending, but if in your listing presentation, you're going to tell people that you have a very strong sense of social media advertising and that you're going to be involving them with a few tools, they're going to be expecting it. And, they'll welcome it and they'll know that you're actually doing things. And I know that you guys are always doing things, but you know how it is. Sometimes realtors get a bad perception that they don't do anything. And in this case, you're involving them. And I just think this is a great tool. It's not going to generate dozens of leads. It's going to generate maybe a handful, but they're pretty high quality leads. So those are the first two tools on your listing. So let's go back here. And I think I did check those boxes, and sometimes it doesn't always hold it. So the eFlyer for your database is the next one. Crystal, do you have a CRM?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just still old school. I use an Excel spreadsheet, so.
I really recommend that you do get a CRM. And I'll just give you a couple of names. Wise Agent, and
I do that.
yeah,
I
and
have Exact right now. XACT is who I have right now.
okay. I mean, a spreadsheet is good, and I like spreadsheets too. But you do need some automation. And also, you need a place to sort of blast people from. And that's the point of this tool right here.
Yeah. And I use Mailchimp. So
oh yeah, so if you got Mailchimp, that's the same thing, right? So you got them sitting somewhere, and you can go do a mail merge on Mailchimp. And so if you click this button up here that says copy code, you're going to copy, let me show you, this weird looking stuff, HTML, right? And you take the HTML and you paste it in, and then in Mailchimp, you click a button that's like this, and it'll look graphical, and then you just blast it out. And this is the flyer for the same house, right? So it's just listed. And so if you've got a bunch of people in Mailchimp, you need to give them something other than some stale written language that they have to read. These are clickable pictures, clickable links, but again, like the single property website, it says when this home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So right here, they can get their free home value in the same flyer.
Okay.
There are also some hyperlinks. This is your email signature. Did you ever use this before, Crystal?
No, and I spelled my last name wrong, it looks like.
You did? I might have spelled it wrong.
Oh, I used a lot of the Facebook ads to generate leads, and I got I'm up to like 1,040 contacts in my database. And so I think I just never did all the tools. That's why I wanted to do this training today, so I can get the girls started on the right foot. So.
Yeah, I would recommend that you've got some pending and sold. My recommendation is to drop a flyer like this on your database, especially if you got 1,000 people, once a week.
Yeah.
And then as you get new listings, you got something just listed, stuff like that. Now, this one here under print marketing, I need you to really focus because there's something called the nearby homeowner letter. Did you ever use this? Did you use this before, Crystal?
It wasn't there when I used your company before. Let's be new. Oh, and you use Prospect Plus. That's who I use too. So.
Okay. So this is the #1 tool right here. This dorky looking piece of paper for getting listings, listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Now, if some of you have sold property in the recent past, like I'd say the last 2 or maybe even 3 months, physically manually create your listings and get this letter if you want more listings in that neighborhood, right? And the way to get this out is either you print it, you download it, you print it, and you either door knock it or you mail it. So when I was showing you what's going on in our mastermind group, or I was showing you on the blog, and I was telling you that Lady Pat Lee gets a bunch of listings. I want to take you back to the mastermind group to talk about that, because this is something that's working right now. It worked last summer. It's working every day. And last summer here in the U.S., getting listings was a real nightmare, right? Let's see here. Here's another one right down the street. Listen for the win. It's kind of new. Hold on. I lost what I was looking for. That looks like it right there. Let's see here. Yeah, that is it. That is it. Yeah. So this guy here has a really cool video. And actually, but this is not really the bulk of what's going on. And I think you just edited the top. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let me look at these comments. I wonder if they removed it. Let me tell you a story of what Chris did here. Chris took that letter, and I'm going to keep searching on it. Chris took that letter, this letter here, and got himself a list in his own neighborhood, okay, in his own neighborhood, because he wants to be the guy in his neighborhood, right? He's a realtor, so he wants to dominate his own neighborhood, which makes sense. You don't have to drive as much, right? So he took that letter and he got a list of homeowners, of people that have owned their home for 5 years or more. And then he took that letter and mails it every 2 weeks. Now, for some reason, that's gone, and I'm going to be very upset about that if it is gone. So every 2 weeks, he mailed it out. And with that, let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's shrink that. Let's go here. It's actually something that I talk about a fair amount. But I want you to see it because it's super important, basically. He took that letter and he mailed it to everybody that owned their home for 5 years or more. And once they opted in on the home valuation page, meaning once they took this physical piece of paper to their computer and typed that in and gave him their address and contact information, he would then hit them up. Oh, I'm lost. Every week with phone calls, bomb letters, letters via mail, and letters left at the door. Okay. And the reason why I want you to see that is that that is the number one way of getting more listings. And if you've got listings, if you sold listings, I would recommend, if you want more listings, you get that that listing inside the system, and you get it, you get it going, right? You use it, whether you door knock it or whether you mail it, right? And I'll show you one more post. I had mentioned him earlier, but I can see it's here. This guy here, Dustin Fox. So the guy who I mentioned who went from 5 to 20 million, and he answered Terry's question. He says, yeah, we get 2 or 3 more listings. This is how he applies it. Same letter. He mails it first class based on tax records to the 250 closest homes. Okay. And it cost him $625 to do that. That's 2 mailings, $625. But he got 10 listings out of that for $17,000 each, average commission. And so he came in here and said, that's our highest ROI. And heck yeah, $625 spent and make $170,000. That's an awesome return. This is in Maryland, southeast of Washington, D.C. And I can tell you, this is a consistent part of Dustin's business. Why would he walk away from free money? I know that agents do walk away from money-making propositions all the time, but this is one that I think you should really try to harness in your business. Get your listings in there. A lot of our clients use this letter when it's just listed and when it's just sold, or when it's open house and sold, things like that. Honestly, if it are sold more important than just listed, I don't know. I think the fact of getting it in front of people consistently is the bigger deal. And what's also a bigger deal is you can door knock it. Most of our clients just take that letter and they print up 100 and they just door knock a few. But by tying it in with a list of homeowners that have equity, that I think that's a much smarter way of applying that, right? So I'll send that to you guys later. But that's the nearby homeowner. And Crystal, these are the 4 things that you should all be doing at every stage of your property. When it's just listed, if you do open houses, when it's open house for sure, when it's pending, and then again when it's sold. And so, as I said, you can go to your listings page now, click this add listing, and manually add it. So if you sold a home in the past 30, 60, 90 days, there really aren't any rules about that. I would recommend that you add those listings. and get that.
What a great idea for the newsletter, because I've been using really canned things, and every time I send them out, my partner, he's always like, you could make something personal. Don't you have listings you could put in these newsletters? But that'll be great to be able to do that now.
Yeah. And then we've also got landing pages. So that takes us to the landing page section. And there's another cool tool like that where I would recommend that you also might want to add this. So, Crystal, what's the #1 city where you want listings?
Lawrence, LAWRENCE.
Okay. So for all of you, you should log into your account, go to the landing page section, and you should probably create this. Click this button and say Property Valuation Plus. And in location, type in Lawrence and click Add Landing Page. And when that happens, we'll give it a second. It's going to create a landing page. And what's the best restaurant in Lawrence? Do you know? How big is Lawrence? Is it 100,000, 50,000, 20?
Probably about 100.
That's a big town. So what's a big landmark there?
Mass Street.
Mass Street?
Yes.
Mass Street. Yeah, Mass Street Music. Okay. Mass Street, Lawrence. Okay. So the reason why I'm asking this question is we have just created a home valuation landing page. Looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is really generic. And we made it look generic because we know that agents aren't going to take the next step, which is upload a picture, right?
Yeah.
And the best kind of picture, oddly enough, a lot of agents think that it is it's like the $1 million home in the neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mansion. That is not it. Actually, it's something that makes you feel like you know the area that you're talking about, like Lawrence, right? And so I'm just kind of poking through and looking at some things.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something that was the #1 ad in Summit, New Jersey. Now, Summit is a smaller town, right? It's like 25,000. So you see this diner. This is like a converted railroad car. This is where you get, the brunches and the greasy potatoes and your eggs and all that. If you know this place, you know Summit, New Jersey. And the point that I'm trying to tell you is you want to have something that makes you feel that comfortable when you see this, because this page is going to ask people for their address and their contact information. And you want to make sure that you're conveying that you know their neighborhood. And
so like a restaurant or a building or something would be
a building, a school, a church. Yeah. Something that lets people know you know their area. Right.
Like the University of Kansas would probably be a good one.
Yeah. If it's there in Lawrence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So once you've created that, let's go here, advanced options. And I want you to kind of remember this. For you, Crystal, since you've got Mailchimp, there are e-flyers here, right?
Okay.
So you can blast this out on Mailchimp. But there's also in print marketing a very similar kind of letter to the listing letter. And so you can think of this in terms of, what if you've got a farm market that you want to build business, but you don't have any listings there? This is a market sold, this is a sold report. All this text here, I actually think you can edit everything. If you go here where I downloaded it, there's a pencil.
Oh, okay.
You can edit it. And you should get some stats like, hey, 50 homes sold in Lawrence last month, and the high was here. And, just a couple of things just to fill in this space right here. Okay. And that's what you should do. And then you can mail this out as well, or you can door knock this, or however you want to get it, because it says that affected your home value and get your free home value. Okay. So I don't know your area, but I think you want one of those for every area where you want to develop listings.
And you can have unlimited landing pages?
Yes, all agents can have unlimited landing pages. Yes. Yeah. So I'm creating them here. I'm logged in, I think right now, Crystal, as the office. And if I use these leads are going to go to you. If each agent logs in and creates their landing pages in their own account, their leads are going to go to them.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So now that we've created a Lawrence landing page and we took the time to put some really cool photo in the background, let's talk about ads. Now on ads, hey, you got it connected. That's cool. So when you come here the first time, your ads are not going, you might see a big blue button that says connect to Facebook, right? You'll see this video, but you're already connected. So now you got three kinds of ads to create. You can create a listing ad, you can create a landing page ad, and a PDF report ad. Let's just, since we just created a landing page, let's go over here and there's our Lawrence landing page that we just created. And when we click create an ad, it's got the button there of lead form, lead ads. You want to leave it there. There's this orange button here. You need to click this. I'm not even going to click it because I'm logged in as me and it'll probably mess you up. Crystal, you need to click that button, view terms, and there's a little checkbox on the top, and each of you are going to need to do this. There's a little checkbox. You click it, you save it, and you'll never have to go back there again. And then what you'll do is you'll click, you notice it says 3-step quick publish. You can't do it now, but that green button will be lit up. You'll click that, you'll click the next button that says create form, and that will be it. You'll have created the form that Facebook is going to use. You'll type in location, right? Lawrence. And you notice that here, there's like a drop down. When you start typing a word, it shows you a list. If it doesn't show you a list like this, there's a hiccup in the software. This software that we're looking at right here, this map, this list, is Facebook. And I've seen it all the time where this thing is stuck and you've typed in something and it's not showing you that list. If it doesn't show you that list, that's, you need to make sure that list is visible. So we always default you to 15-mile radius. You might want to expand that. Just because, if you feel like people would move, that far to see it. And then here we have it for a $50 budget for 7 days. So I want to point something out. This is going to create a home valuation ad. And I said earlier today that that's the last thing I would suggest. But I actually do recommend that you do a home valuation ad once a month for all of you. And here's why. You see how it's sponsored by Crystal Clear Realty? That's going to be sponsored by your business page. And that's going to reach about 15 miles out in this case. And it's going to tell people that you're professional and you're able to give them a home value. That's important for your brand. I'm going to talk a little bit more about brand strategy with this. But you'll notice that you can go over to Crystal Clear Realty. If you had Instagram connected to that account, it would show that there too. When you're running a home valuation ad, I definitely recommend that you do put some stats in there, like I was saying earlier, 40 homes sold here last month. And I don't know if you can see it, I'm typing on the left, but it's showing up on the box on the right. You want to do this before you run the ad. And, the high was whatever, right? If you want to change the photo, you can, but you really shouldn't need to do that. And then you just publish, and Facebook will review it, and there you go. So that's one of the kinds of ads, a landing page ad, right? There's also a listing ad, and you can market your homes that are sold, which I do recommend that you market your homes that are sold because it's the story that it's telling is that that's affected your home value. If you want your home value, click on this. So again, this should have been clicked, and Crystal, you'll do that later, but all you got to do is click, create the form, type in the location, and publish. You'll notice our budget here is $35 for 7 days. And that's because it's $5 a day. And as I mentioned earlier from that blog post, we see listing leads, buyer leads cost about $1 a lead. Now, it could be more, it could be less. I just don't know your particular market. But all this is written up here is pretty good, right? I mean, a lot of our clients, Calvin, who generated 490 leads, did not customize that at all. For you, Crystal, you might want to customize it if there's something unique about this place, right? If you had great schools, right? We don't have that there. If it has a new custom kitchen, right? If you have stories that are not showing in the body of that ad that you think will get people to click, then type it in there, right? And then you publish. You just publish right here. They'll review it and they'll make it live. And as you capture the leads, they'll be in Facebook and they'll also sit in your leads tab over here. So I definitely recommend, well, we'll give you the high level first. Well, let's dive into one, then I'll give you the high level. So while I was yammering on there, there's another button that says create a PDF report ad. And this you use whether you have listings or don't. And you can decide, do you want to talk to buyers? Because we have 25 buyer reports. Or do you want to talk to homeowners who might sell their home? Because we have 25 more reports for homeowners. Like this one, the 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home. And what do you do now? You click create form, you type in the location, and you publish, right? But this time when they respond, they're going to be able to download the report automatically, and you are going to, your contact information is on it, but you're already getting their contact information for them to download it. So these are really helpful. They're helpful in terms of just as an ad, but they're also helpful in terms of follow-up, maybe sending these to them once a month kind of thing, or getting, ads out there again. So on the ad section, I'm talking a lot here as I show you things. It takes about 20 seconds to create an ad. You can create a listing ad, you can create a landing page ad, and you can create a PDF report ad. Now, let me give you a high-level story of what I think people should do. And I don't know what you know about Facebook. I don't even know if you use Facebook. But 70% of Americans spend about 40 minutes every day on this site, okay? Every day. And they're looking at the pictures of their friends, of what they're eating, and they're looking at, here's my friend's garden, and, all the nonsense that people share. Hey, that's my, that's my cousin's, yeah. But all this stuff, notice here, is an ad for something about migraines or Taco Tuesday, I don't know. But your ads, as you're creating them here, are showing up on Facebook right here on the newsfeed. And this is where people spend 40 minutes every day. 70% of Americans spend 40 minutes every day scrolling through this thing, either on their phone or on a desktop, just like I am right now. And so that's worth noting, because what I'm going to tell you is that this is an awesome place for you to build a brand and for you to capture leads. And so if you write anything down at all, I would tell you this. You should be running a listing ad every week for 4 days for $20. It's $5 a day, okay? Then in the same week, you should run either a landing page ad or a PDF report ad, right? PDF reports for buyers or for sellers, it's your choice. Those ads should be $30. You can do that for 3 or 4 days. So that's a $20 ad plus a $30 ad every week. It's $50 times 4 weeks. That's a $200 a month ad budget. With that, your business page is going to be seen by, let me show you what I mean by that. You see how it says sponsored by Crystal Realty? If you spend $200 a month, like the way I just described, your business page is going to be recognized 15 to 20,000 times on a $200 a month spend. Okay, you're going to capture 100 to 200 leads just from that activity from those 8 ads. Okay. And based on what you're using, you're either going to get more listing leads or you're going to get more seller leads, right? So that is really a number one thing. Like I talk to a lot of realtors, and I talk to a lot of green realtors, like no business, new to the space. Where does your brand get built, right? When somebody does a search on the internet for Lawrence Homes for sale, do you show up on page 1 or are you on page 5? In Facebook, you can be in front of people real fast. And so that's why I recommend it very highly. Have a good ad strategy for Facebook, use our listing marketing tools, get that print letter for your home valuation landing pages out, and do that consistently. All this other fun stuff, all these other links and all the things I have forgotten to show you, it's because what I have shown you has the highest value. It's going to help your business grow.
And with your ads, do you run them all at the same time, or do you do 4 days for the listing and then another 3 days for the PDF? Or how do you recommend?
No, I would kind of stagger it out a little bit.
Okay.
For instance, like, running a listing ad, and this is I'm going to say this pre-COVID, right? Pre-COVID, because pre-COVID we used to drive somewhere and go to work every day, right? And in that environment, we would go to work and we'd still be looking at listings while we're even at work. So I would tell you, if you've got a market, if you're going to have an open house something this weekend, you want to market all week long because people are looking all. So when you're marketing listings, do it during the week. Do it on a Monday. Do it on a Tuesday. Then on Thursday or Friday, create your PDF report ad or your landing page ad. Even if they overlap a day or two, it doesn't matter, right? But you're sort of covering the whole week so that at some point somebody's got the chance of seeing your business page, right? Every day of the week. So it's not, you don't have to be exact on that one, but that is something that I definitely recommend, right? Does that answer your question, Crystal?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds great.
So just in case you don't know this, let's see here. My name is Vincent Meza. I'm in Lafayette, California, the VP of Sales here for Listings to Leads. If you friend me on Facebook, I will drop you in the mastermind group really fast. Okay. Otherwise, in your account is a support page here. And I recommend that you, anytime you have any question, like if you feel like just you're starting to get frustrated, use this box right here because our whole support team watches this. Sometimes you try to call and they're not answering the phone, and that's frustrating. Everybody sees everything that comes in here, and we get answers very quickly. Our clients love the support team. So, you put your questions here, kind of learn about us inside the mastermind group. If you want help getting the mastermind group, you can ping me, or you can use the support team. Crystal, I'll have this call up online and to you later on. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Take care, keep safe, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay.